In brighter days, I would tell you a story of Massalia, the beautiful seaside city in the south of France, and of its trio of protectors, Madame Liberté, Madame Égalité, and Mademoiselle Fraternité, 3 women sworn to fight the forces of evil and protect those who cannot protect themselves, and of their home and headquarters, the Swashbuckling Ladies' Debate Society. I would tell of tales of daring do, thrills and chills, and always with a happy ending. But these are not brighter days, and these are not those stories.
Monday Matinee presents the Swashbuckling Ladies' Debate Society, Season 2, Episode 1, What Goes Around, Comes Around.
For you see, our trinity has been split. Madame Liberté, our friend and companion Zinnia, has been abducted by dark forces, those who work for the Six, a secretive cabal who are behind the massive cultural shift which has spread through Europe, the same movement which has made our city into its capital. Now myself, Mademoiselle Fraternité, Goldie to my friends, and Madame Égalité, known to most as Saffron, have been searching for Liberté throughout the Mediterranean for weeks. I miss my home, I miss my bed, but mostly I miss the calm camaraderie the 3 of us shared. And as bad as it is for me, it's worse for Saffron. While I'm searching for a friend, she's looking for her wife. We've hit a fair amount of dead ends, had a few adventures. Who knew cuttlefish could get that big? But mostly we've been chasing rumors, the latest of which has led us south to Algiers, which is beautiful, by the way. It's also infested with scalawags, a nasty group of pirates called the Barbary Bandits. Fortunately, this city is not undefended. They have their own protector.
Look out! It's Carmen Crimson!
I told you before, the Bay of Algiers is off limits to you, scum.
Yeah? Well, we decided different.
Slow learners. Fine then. Perhaps it's time for an education.
Ha! One little girl against us, and all you've got is one sword? Prepare to be decimated.
Lesson 1. This is not a sword, it's a scimitar, and in the hands of a master, 1 is all that is required. Let me show you. You see, your crew has been decimated.
What are you talking about? There's still, 30 of us left, raring to fight?
Lesson 2. Decimate means reduce by 1/10, which I have done. It's a common mistake, but it's not the only one you've made.
It isn't?
Lesson 3. Never assume. In this case, that I'm here alone.
Égalité!
Fraternité!
Hello, boys.
Glad we didn't miss all the fun.
I have friends visiting from out of town, and they are carrying swords.
Oh, heck.
Indeed. Ladies, have at them.
And that's the last of them.
Is there anything so satisfying as punching slavers?
These guys are slavers? That calls for a kickin'.
Stand down, Mademoiselle Fraternité. They're beaten.
I'll give them a beating.
That's not why we're here. Though we're always glad to help the cause of justice.
So you're Liberté's students.
How did you know that?
A master can always recognize her work. I trained her. and I see that training in you.
I was aware you knew my Liberté, but I didn't realize you were her teacher.
But you're so young.
Algiers is not so accommodating as France to a young girl on her own. My own Medeiros began my training quite early. But you are not here for my story.
Sadly, we are not. Liberté has been kidnapped.
By one of the 6, yes, I've heard.
Do you know where she is?
No.
Drat.
But I know someone who might. I have heard a rumor and a name. While I spend my time hunting criminals and fending off pirates, many crimes are left unanswered. I simply don't have the time. Like smuggling. One of the more reputable of those sorts does business with powerful people.
Powerful people like the 6.
Quite likely. But be cautious of her. She's quite wily and always looking for what's best for her.
And the name?
Genevieve de Guerre. Her ship, the Action Belle, just left port. If you hurry, you should be able to catch her before she reaches the sea.
Do you think that Liberté
Is on board? I do not. The ship arrived full and left empty, heading for its next port of call.
How do you know all this?
I may not be able to stop them, but I will not turn a blind eye. If valuable cargo is moving through the region and Genevieve does not have a hand in it, I would be surprised.
Would you accompany us? We work better as a trio.
I would like nothing more.
Hooray!
Alas, Algiers needs me, and I it. Please rescue my pupil and return for a grand celebration in her honor.
Something to look forward to. Haven't had that in a long time. In the meantime, can you do us one favor?
Name it.
This stone, it's called the Astera Petra. It's valuable to a group of terrible people. We'd like to leave it with you for safekeeping.
Why me?
Well, we trust you. And you know how to handle yourself if anyone comes looking for it.
Consider it done. Now go, find your partner. I shall deal with these fools.
Thank you, Carmen.
Good journey. I promised you last time that there would be consequences. So who wants to lose a toe?
She's not what I expected.
Nor I, but she certainly knows her stuff. I hope.
What's wrong?
It's just another clue, another mystery, another step, yet somehow no closer to Zinnia.
But we've done a lot of good along the way. Met some people, broke some noses.
Time wasted, red herrings, blind alleys.
I've never known you to be so pessimistic.
I'm failing her, Goldie.
No, never.
If the roles were reversed, she'd already
Have done everything in her power to find you. And that's exactly what you've done, right?
Right. Thanks, Goldie.
Now, we've got a date with a smuggler.
To find some precious cargo. Let's go.
Listen, you ugly old fool. If you don't make it to the port by sunup, I'm going to start throwing a crew member overboard every half hour. You hear me? Good. Now go and make haste.
That's no way to motivate your men.
These aren't my men. Just paid employees who need to be reminded. Oh,
Something wrong?
masks, fancy swords, smug attitudes. You are heroes.
I suppose we are. And you're Genevieve de Guerre, I presume.
Listen, I don't have it anymore.
Don't have what?
Ha! You think we believe you? You'll have to try harder than that.
What?
Just follow my lead.
I'm telling you the truth. It was too hot for me. Way too many eyes on the prize.
As if someone like you would give up the chase.
Sure, it was fun at first, but it all came down to cost-benefit. How much effort was I putting out for maybe a huge payday? I decided to opt out and sold it on the cheap to the Golden Jackal. Let him figure it out.
And the Golden Jackal has it now.
Probably. Can't imagine he'd be able to move something as impressive as the Goldberg diamond that fast.
You stole the Goldberg diamond.
No! I paid for it to be stolen, obviously. Wait, how do you not know that? Oh no. You didn't know.
Nope, but we appreciate you cluing us in. We'll have to make a stop at the Jackal's lair on our way back.
You can't tell him I said something. That honor among thieves goes double for smugglers.
If so, perhaps you can help us in another matter. The real reason we came to find you. We're looking for something.
Aren't we all? I'll need specifics.
Let's say you wanted to move something important, but it couldn't be seen by any authority types.
Well, first, I'd come to me.
And if not you,
I'm not in the habit of pimping my competitive. Must be something largish, or else you'd just have a couple of couriers.
Let's just stick with how you do it, if it wasn't you.
Tricky. I like it. Well, with all the new checkpoints and tariffs, they'd want to stay off the road, so definitely by sea. But your average smuggler is not going to have coin to bribe every patrol boat they might come across. So they'd need something that wouldn't get stopped.
what about a medical frigate?
Those are pretty highly regulated, and the staff won't be bribed to look away. Stupid Hippocratic oath.
So how'd they do it?
I mean, the ideal way would be to... Oh, nope. Can't think of anything. Wish I could have helped. If you'll excuse me.
I'm not in the habit of resorting to threats so early, but I've had a couple very long days, and my patience is wearing thin. You thought of something. What was it?
Sure, okay. Nice blade, by the way. The only ships that don't get searched are those owned by the new regime. The 6.
Now we're getting somewhere.
And it's not somewhere I want to be.
Hold on. You're still holding back. They came to you, didn't they? You were the first stop.
Now it's my turn for threats.
Look, I didn't know when you first started talking that what it was you were talking about. But it's a person, right?
Yes.
Egalite, careful.
Egalite. As in Madame Egalite. And no way are you Liberate. So that means she's the cargo.
Blast.
No wonder.
You'd better start talking. Do I need an or else?
No, I can see it in your eyes. Yes, they approached me about moving a large container with convenient air holes, but I was doing a whole thing, so I declined.
They don't seem like the type who take no for an answer.
Oh, I can be quite charming, I promise. But what they were asking for was elaborate. A series of moves, never staying in one place for any length of time, ending in...
Ending in what?
A trip across the pond, a highly secure transport over to the United States.
When?
When what?
When was the ship supposed to leave?
I don't really...
When?
Day after tomorrow.
Where is she now?
I told you I didn't take the job.
Tell me.
Okay, Egalite, step back a moment.
No, she's lying.
Not specifically. Let me handle this. Please.
Fine.
So, this is your good cop, bad cop.
Don't I wish? Listen, this is your business. If you were making these arrangements, where would you stage it before making the long trek?
The way I do it is not how. Oh, that makes sense now.
Spill.
Fine, but don't shoot the messenger. Have you heard of Major Rocker?
Yes, he's a soldier of fortune, isn't he?
That's a nice way of putting it. Another way is that he's a warlord for hire, picking up the strays from other services, soldiers kicked out of their armies for various crimes. He's put together his own little army for hire.
And the 6 have him on retainer?
Got it in one. He's holed up in Lisbon, getting his crew ready to set sail the day after tomorrow for where?
The United States.
Correct. His HQ is an old military base. And I mean old like Crimean War old.
And you know where it is?
Yeah, it's not a secret. It's a fortress. Hard to hide those.
Show us.
I know that look. And I don't think you're hearing me. Your friend is being held in a military base, surrounded by an army of crazed soldiers who are being bankrolled by the richest, most powerful people in the world.
What can I say? I like a challenge.
And I like staying alive. Look, go to Lisbon, have some pasty zinata, and then die at the hands of crazed mercs. But keep my name off your lips.
You're a smuggler, so we hire you to smuggle us in.
First off, you don't have that much money.
How do you know?
Because you wouldn't be able to stand upright. I am certainly not going to take an IOU when you'll be DOA.
Look, we're both women of the world. We can work something out, right?
Huh. You two are from Massalia, right?
We are.
Not a lot of contraband moving in and out of the capital these days. Seems someone shut down Red Rapscallion's operation, which leaves a void. Tell you what, I'll help you with this. Get you into the base. And later, you don't get in my way as I move some things into your city.
Like what?
Honey, I'm a smuggler. Half the time, even I don't know what I've got. And I've learned not to ask. A lesson you would do well to heed.
Egalite, can we talk about this?
What's there to talk about? We know where she is.
We might know if we decide to trust this woman, who we were told specifically not to trust.
It's true. I can feel it.
Is it? Or is it that you want it so badly that you're making yourself believe it? And what about the city? Who knows what kind of nasty business this opens us up to?
That's a problem for the future. Something that the three of us can take on.
Egalite,
Enough! I've made my decision.
That means we are in business?
It does.
Great! Now you're one of those hero types. Your word is your bond and all that. We don't need to have anything written down, do we?
We don't.
And show some great team spirit. How far you're willing to go to get your comrade back. She must be important. To the team, I mean.
very important.
Good. That's good.
Why is that good?
Because you're not done getting your hands dirty.
What does that mean?
Major Augur is a first-class psychopath. Real dyed-in-wool military nut job. Plus pretty paranoid. Doesn't much like people. What he does like are things that go boom.
Of course he does.
Pretty as you are, that's not what's going to turn his head. We'll have to bring you in as gun runners. And you will need to seem legit. Or they'll kill you at first sight.
We can handle that.
We can?
But getting in disguised as merchants of death and not getting stabbed on sight, that's the easy part.
That's the easy part?
Yeah, because I'll expect you'll want to be taking your friend with you when you go. And she's not his to bargain with.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, his headquarters are on the tippy top. So when he figures out what you're about, you'll have 5 floors of trigger-happy lunatics to contend with.
That's just terrific.
Let me work on that part. You get us an audience with the major.
I'll send a word ahead. Oh, this is going to be fun. What do you say, sisters? Are you ready to step into the bad side?
To be continued on next week's episode of Monday Matinee's Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society. Come along.